I'll mention some other popular methodologies that people use to transform reality through intention. These are more accepted in mainstream media. They are positive psychology, the work of Jordan Peterson, and Neuro-Linguistic Programming, NLP. The still on the bottom is from an old yet still funny comedy sketch from Saturday Night Live. This character, Stuart, would talk to his reflection in the mirror and recite positive things about himself in a funny way. In positive psychology, there's this idea that we can reset our minds just by repeating positive thoughts to ourselves. If we replace negative thoughts with positive ones, we can in effect reset how we behave in the world and create positive change in society. NLP has become very popular in self-help circles and in the business world. I think it's fair to say NLP is about faking it till you make it. Supposedly, you can learn skills which will reprogram you into a more happy, successful state of being. You can create the person you want to be. If you are not a successful person yet, you can learn the behaviors, the postures, the walking style of someone who is successful. Then you can model that behavior until it becomes your own. Peterson's work seems to be a synthesis of Jungian-inspired psychology, old-school conservative values, and well-worn self-help advice. Peterson's book include talk of Jung's work on mythology, the hero's journey, and good old-fashioned status quo advice like clean your room and focus on self-improvement before you try to fix others. He places an emphasis on one's ability to rewrite the story of me through something he calls self-authoring. All of this seems well-intentioned and harmless at first. Learning the traits of successful people has got to be useful in some way, right? There's nothing wrong with taking control of your life story and cleaning your room. Well, maybe. But I think these are all attempts to shortcut a deeper, more meaningful life transformation. My take is that these techniques are status quo game playing. These approaches can result in unintended harmful consequences. The work of psychologists like Freud, Jung, and many others show that this kind of overly positive, success-striving, take the bull by the horns, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, self-improvement behavior can lead to repression if not done cautiously and consciously. These techniques can become strategies to play act your way through life, forcefully asserting personality change without properly addressing your circuit 1 through 4 imprints. Doing this can lead to strong, unpleasant emotions and stress building up in the body. That can eventually lead to outbursts and behavior that is harmful to oneself and to others. Even worse, Gabor Mate, the addiction and attachment expert who I first mentioned way back in Circuit 1, argues that people who go through their life pretending everything is fine and always being nice are more likely to suffer from many types of diseases. He says the cause is constant inner stress. The work of Dr. John Sarno also speaks to this. Sarno spent decades making the case that most chronic body pain, like lower back pain, is caused by repressed emotions, especially anger. Another issue is how these practices, particularly NLP, involve a certain amount of manipulation of what others perceive about you. In my opinion, these practices can contribute to the fundamental issues of status quo society and can amplify our tendency to see others as pawns for our own personal gain and pleasure. In fact, the creator of NLP literally called himself a sociopath. Look, to be fair, these techniques and self-help in general may have some genuinely helpful tips for navigating certain life situations. Peterson has made a lot of money selling his books, going on speaking tours, and selling his self-authoring products around the globe. This is a testament to the fact that he's made a positive impact in how many of his followers navigate their status quo lives. But in my opinion, Peterson, with his self-authoring ideas, rules for life, and his talk of the mythological hero is likely possessed by the archetype of the hero to an unhealthy degree. He seems to be knowledgeable regarding some of Jung's work, but he treats the subject in what I think is an overly intellectual way, falling into the trap that Marie von Franz talked about. I believe that Peterson fails to have internalized an important point in Jung's work. Jung wrote an exploration into his unconscious where he murdered the archetypal representation of the hero. This freed Jung from possession of the hero archetype. This allowed him to transcend the status quo. Peterson's possession by the hero archetype, in my armchair psychologist opinion, has led him down some dangerous roads emotionally, physically, and psychologically. Those same consequences can befall his followers if they're not able to free themselves from the delusion that rewriting the story of me can be done through Circuit 3 intellectualism. Rewriting the story of me without proper higher circuit activation can be dangerous. If the true aim is to transform one's life, there are no shortcuts. You cannot fake it till you make it